Hello and welcome to a quick overview of a pair of Mackie Thump speakers. These were our first major band purchase. It was a big deal when we bought these. We moved out of a little rehearsal place in South Philly called the Super Cave. Novi, you're the man. And we didn't have a PA, and that was tough at first because remember our first singer Guy brought like his hoopty system over, and it was just bad. So I think they're about like $150 a speaker. It was like $300 for the pair, but it was a major purchase for us at the time because the band wasn't making any money and it was tough, and everybody kind of split in on them. So I picked up a pair of them, brand new, off of, shit, I can't even remember. It was eBay or something like that. But we got the 15-inch ones, slightly bigger, for better bass response. And I'd have to say, they really do sound nice. As far as a cheaper speaker, they're also super light. Like, they're just not heavy at all. They're all just made of like kind of like a plastic molding, you know, so that the enclosure itself is very light, and the components, if I'm honest, which I'll get to in a bit, are kind of cheap, so they're not heavy, which is good, and they do sound nice. So I'll play a little something. We've been working on Africa by Toto, so why not a little Africa.
I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, "Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you."
So they sound nice, they're balanced, they're crisp, the bass response is actually really good. So we don't have a bass player in our band. We're looking for one, but we don't have a bass player in our band, and we don't have a bass player in our cover band, High Five Swan Dive, either. So in rehearsal, we just pump the bass through the speakers since we don't have a bass cabinet here. And the speakers handle it really well, even in like a minor error in the metal context, you can still hear the bass tracks nicely. They still cut through and sound good, and we don't have like a subwoofer in here or anything. So that's been surprising and great. The controls on the back are pretty straight ahead. They give you a little bit of a cheeseball EQ system, but I obviously don't use that. You can't really get any control. Like if you're trying to avoid feedback, something like this isn't going to help. I mean, honestly, your best bet is just to leave it flat, if I'm honest. If you're pushing it hard or trying to alter it for some reason, you're probably ruining the sound. So the Thump TH-15A. So I do our processing over there, just a cheeseball Behringer EQ to get some sort of feedback avoidance, although sometimes it doesn't work amazing, especially when Bob starts screaming. So the drawback of the Thumps is that they're like made in China, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to look and see. Yeah, manufactured in China. The components inside are cheap. So if you're using them for rehearsal, like we've since upgraded because, okay, so they kept breaking. And we spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on repairs, and then our speaker was out, and then our singer Matt, I'm like borrowing his speaker for gigs, and that one didn't pair well with these because it was a different make and model and yada yada. If you're going to be like gigging as a band and putting a lot of stuff through them, like if you're just doing vocals, then they probably would be fine, but we were putting guitars and drums and all sorts of stuff that you need to put in speakers to sound good as a live band, and they just kept breaking. They're just not made that well when it comes down to it, and my like repair guy was just explaining how they were cheap inside. So we picked up a pair of PVs. Now I know PV isn't normally the most well-known brand for quality, but we've owned those now for 2 years and have put those things through hell, and they've been fine. They're also 5.5 feet tall, quasi four-way. Our mains that we use now are Psycho. We're actually probably gonna be getting rid of them, but anyway, it doesn't matter. they sound good, and if you're using them in a rehearsal setting, or maybe if you're a small time like mobile DJ, or maybe you're an acoustic duo, they're fantastic. I definitely would recommend them. If you're trying to do anything else beyond that, do not do that, because they're gonna break. Just save up, get some really nice powered QSCs. You know, something like that would be a much better way of spending some money. It's going to be a lot more money up front, but the trade-off is that your speakers won't be in the shop, then costing you money and costing you gigs and all that kind of stuff. So thumps sound good but break, basically. So thanks for watching this video on the Mackie Thumps.